Hello, teaching veteran Trey Reely here, and welcome to Band Stuff. Whether you know anything about band or not, this video is still for you. It's for anybody who's thinking about retiring, and probably one of the shortest videos you ever see. I retired from band directing 3.5 years ago, and one thing that I managed to do, which has made my retirement experience fantastic, is the idea that I'm going to share with you today. Because a few months before I retired, I went to libraries, I went online, I did everything I could to read up on how to have a successful retirement. And really every single book that I looked at was just pure finance. Okay, and of course, financial things are obviously very important, but that wasn't what I was looking for. I was looking for things that had more to do with my day-to-day mental health. Now, certainly money affects that. But I wanted more than just how to get your money ready for your retirement. What are other factors that are important in having a successful retirement? And I found one book, just one book, that met what I was looking for. And the book is titled Don't Retire, Rewire. And it's by Jerry Settler and Rick Miners. I don't know them. I get no kickbacks, from recommending this book. But it had an approach at the end of the book, it's mainly the end of it, that was very, very helpful in helping you have a successful retirement. And I think this is one of the keys. And what they do at the end of the book is they have you assess your drivers. And what they mean by drivers, they mean what keeps you going every day. What do you get out of bed for each morning? What are you looking forward to throughout the day? What really energizes you and gets you going? And their main point, which is very, very important, is that you've got to look at the career that you're retiring from and look at the things within that career that you really, really like, that you really, really enjoy. And make sure when you retire that you have something that's very, very similar to that to keep you going. And so that's what I did. I just sat down and I just started to list the things that I really get out of my job, that really drive me. And I tried to make sure that when I retired, I had something over here that might be different, but it fulfills the same need. And there's an appendix in the book that lists 85 different drivers. And what I did is I went through and I just highlighted the things that on a daily basis keep me going. And so this will just tell you a little bit about me, but you can be very different. You could pick out 85 drivers, then be totally different. But whatever the case, you want to have something to replace that when you retire. If there's something in work you love, it drives you, make sure you have something to take its place. For instance, mine was having a sense of accomplishment. That was one of my drivers. I like to accomplish things. And of course, being a band director is just full of things that you can accomplish, whether it's having a great concert, doing great at a marching contest. I mean, lots of things to accomplish. And so I had to make sure, since that's important to me, that when I got out and retired, there was still something I could do with my life where I would have this sense of accomplishment. Others that I marked, enjoyment. Of course, we all like enjoyment, so I want to make sure I had things that I can enjoy when I retired. Fun, goals. I'm very goal-oriented, and so I wanted to make sure that when I retired that there's things that I was still doing that would keep me moving forward in terms of having a goal and wanting to accomplish it. I like having a position of influence. One of the drivers was influence. And sometimes you have to kind of be honest with yourself, and there's nothing evil with wanting to be an influential person. I enjoy being an influence on others, and my main drive is to be a good influence on others. I like trying to help other people have a better life, and in any way I can help them, then I'm going to do that. And so I had to make sure that when I retired, I just didn't end up on an island by myself, but I still had some avenue to be of influence, because when you're a band director, there's automatic influence on a daily basis, and you drop all those people that you normally work with on a daily basis, and influence is important to you. That's going to be a big gap. Now, maybe when you retire, you don't want to have anything to do with anybody, then that's fine. But to me, being of some influence was still important to me, so I want to make sure that I filled that. I enjoy leadership. And so I wanted to make sure that when I dropped that leadership part of my life in band directing, that I still had other activities and things that I could be involved in where I was a leader, because that's just something I enjoy doing. It's I'm not power hungry or anything like that. That's kind of a part of my DNA. I like leading and influencing others. And then just all sorts of other things that I had to look at. And this list of 85 things, I think, would be one of the best things that you do when it comes time to retirement, that you look at and say, which one of these things do I want to maintain? Well, just a while ago, I ran off this list here, and at the top of it says retirement ideas. And so with all of these drivers in mind, I just typed up a list of things that I thought I could do to fulfill those needs. Now, this might not be you, but you've probably known somebody that's retired, and then we're just, in a lot of ways, we're kind of miserable, maybe even bored. That's hard for me to imagine, but when that happens, it's because somebody has not replaced one important need at their job with another. But I wrote down guitar. I want to learn guitar. I never played a lot of guitar while I was teaching, didn't have time to, so that was one of my goals. Now, I've been retired 3.5 years. I haven't practiced a guitar at all. But I had that at first as something I might like to do for, in a sense of accomplishment, for creativity, developing a new skill. But it didn't work out and I didn't do it, but I had that on my list. I put euphonium. Okay, I have played euphonium. I play euphonium almost every day for 3.5 years, and I've played in different groups. And so that need of accomplishment to get better and better on that instrument and be with other people and perform my instrument with other people, I have done that. So I did that. I put coach soccer. I still love working with kids. And I didn't have it in band directing, so I needed to try to find another avenue to do that. And coaching soccer was one of them. Now, the soccer was basically wiped out by the pandemic, and we only had half a season. But I was able to reassess after that and decided soccer wasn't the way that I wanted to go, mainly just because I didn't have any kids or grandkids playing soccer, and I found out that was a lot more important factor than I even thought it was. So I just coached soccer that 1/2 a year before it was canceled. But again, that was this idea of working with kids, because I like to do that. And I did continue my work and upped my work at the church that I attend. So I get a lot of work with kids and being of influence at church. I put down writing children's books. I've written 2. I put down here become a chess master. Okay? But I didn't do that at all. But I put it down because I thought, hey, that'd be interesting. Intellectual development, that kind of thing, growing. Private lessons. I did do that. I've taught privately for 3.5 years now. I still enjoy that interaction with students and help them develop musically. I put join a civic club. I ended up not doing that, but that was at least a consideration to meet people in the community. So I have about, and the list could go on and on. But sit down and make your list of things that you can do after you retire. They're going to keep you fulfilled. They're going to be the things that drive you. And that's about the best suggestion I could give you. I'm doing okay financially, but you don't want me for financial advice. Find somebody else for that. But in terms of your mental health, your having a life that's fulfilling, I think the tips I've given you today could be one of the best things that you can do. And make sure you look in the description for the 85 drivers and some more things that kind of explain what I'm talking about. And feel free to comment if you need to, and I'll be glad to talk with you some more.